Nobody here.
But, okay. Oh boy. Well, I believed that. So tonight we're gonna keep it mellow. I just want to kind of keep it light. We're gonna talk about the Mandela effect. Because I drove by my old house in Encanto, and I'm thinking like, wow, I didn't even live there, but it looks just like the house I grew up in. So it's mind-boggling. So we are on a new Earth, in a new universe, millions and millions of light years from home. This is the best theory so far because it's the best theory so far because you have CERN emitting on TV that they're playing with parallel universes. Then you have a bunch of us people that remember a completely different past, and we remember our skeleton being slightly different, right? Well, it's actually worse than I thought. It's even the kneecaps. It's even the back rib. We have a rib on our back now. It's getting bizarre. We never had a rib on our back before. So you and me. If you remember Evil Knievel, not Evel. Where I grew up, it was Evil Knievel. Evil Knievel, not Evel Knievel. And it was Captain Crunch, right? Cracker Jacks, Febreze with 2 E's, Kennedy and car with 4 people. Australia was by itself, and the ocean. There's people alive like Jim Neighbors who died, and I remember he died. And then you also have Muhammad Ali, but I went to go check and he's actually still dead. So I heard someone said he was alive. But you also have our bodies is like probably the biggest thing. Now for the Bible thing, you don't want to panic because it's really, the Bible's real basic. It's just really basically learn God's law. That's it. All the stories in the Bible are lessons that always involve His law. You have a lady, well, I understand, Christians freaking out, and I understand it gets kind of scary, especially with the Bible, but once you realize it's really the law that's the most important. You want to remember that God came to earth. He planted the Word inside of Mary, and the Word became flesh, and God came here as a man to walk with us. And He already knew what it was like. He was God, but He wanted us to see Him, and He wanted to show us He loved us, and He set the example for us to walk like Him. So you love His commandments, and then you appreciate that He came and that He died. He even said that He says, no man captures me. He goes, I'm giving my life. So in other words, He could have wiped them out anytime. He even told Peter that when they were coming to collect Jesus to kill Him, and Peter swung the sword and cut a guard's ear off, and then Christ placed the guy's ear back on, and He said, the kingdom of heaven went out to him with the sword, and He said that He gives Himself freely. So what we figure out is that God is just pure love, 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 love. There's no ego at all. He doesn't understand ego. It doesn't exist. And in the next life, give your heart to God, to Jesus. Ask Him to forgive you. He'll forgive you. You're saved out of grace. He'll forgive you for anything you did. Then you go the other direction and walk the other direction and never return. And if you make a mistake in the future, don't panic. Jump back up on the horse. Don't freak out. God loves you. This isn't really a battle of following the law. It's a battle of love. He loves you more than you understand. So it's not about really, if you're not perfect, He'll still love you. After you become perfect, you make mistakes. I'm just saying, try not to though. But God is so forgiving, and after that, you have to just follow His laws. All 10 commandments plus the new commandment, which is love your enemies, love those who persecute you, forgive them, love your neighbor, and it's pretty simple. And just pray daily, talk to Him daily, and just thank Him for things, and that's pretty much it. And don't have no sex out of marriage. Get married, find a good woman in church, find a good man in church, find your mate, and make sure you're gonna work things out after you're married. That you're gonna keep making sure that you guys, because you're going to have problems in life, and things will come your way. But if you stick together and work it out, and don't give in, because God doesn't really believe in divorce. God doesn't believe in divorce. I can't even say that. I'm like, no. I'm like, no divorce. Yeah, so just work it out, and just pray daily. And with the Mandela effect, we are in a new place, but we have CERN. I don't even know if CERN was in the original place. See, that's the thing. I don't know, because I bounced around so many times. Where I come from, the buffalo were extinct. There was a cloud of smog that used to come down, and we had to hold our breath. On the way to school, we had to hold our breath up to the car, and we had to miss recess. And I totally remember that cloud. And you're inside coloring and playing, and you weren't allowed to go outside. And it was like 7 to 15 days out of the year. That was pretty much it. But it was just different. This earth never had the history of that. I looked. It doesn't have the history of that. And the buffalo were extinct. Buffalo were completely extinct, completely wiped off the earth. So I jumped a few times, but this last time, it's the Mandela effect. A lot of people jump together, which is cool. We are so far physically from home. That's the truth. We are not. Things aren't changing, and even for me, it's hard to grasp. Sometimes I see just changes there, a few little changes there, and changes over there, and I keep thinking. But I got to remember that it's not things are changing. The truth is, the evidence really points to parallel shifting, and if we parallel shifted, we're actually on a brand new earth completely, in a brand new universe, in a brand new body. That's what it points to. That means that everything is different. Every little thing that you see, your family, everything is completely different. It's a parallel version of them. And it's your essence that moves, not your body, just your essence. That's why your body has changed. So yeah, inside of the atoms, inside of the quarks, the smallest, tiniest thing, there's nothing in there. It's a vibration, and it vibrates into 7 different universes. Constantly does that. So you're like doing that, and then as soon as it slightly alters, because your body and mind's always making decisions you're not aware of, and it's making all these different choices, and you don't see all these realities that are branching off. That's what the scientists believe. And as soon as you, I lost you. Didn't track. They believe that we're in trillions of universes. That's what it was. We're also in trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions, and it's like endless. That's what they believe. They believe it goes on forever. And there's even trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions that we're not even in. It's just crazy. Anything that's possible is happening. That's what scientists believe, because you have a right to choose anything you want to choose. So since there's all these choices, there's always realities branching off that we don't see. Isn't that neat? So there you go. So it's very interesting. I was excited, and then upset at CERN, and then I was excited, and it is a crime because we don't ask to move anywhere, but as long as we're safe in this reality, then we can't really I wouldn't really be upset too much, because I still think it's just interesting. It's just really interesting, I used to watch that TV show Sliders in the 90s, and here we are parallel shifting, and me and my sister have a different memory, and I told her, you're my sister, but you're like a different version of her, because where she comes from, the heart was in the middle, like a lot of people that are from here. But she doesn't come from here, because where she comes from, the buffalo were extinct too, and there was a smog. So the same stuff I was from, and the same stuff that we all remember: Captain Crunch, Luke, I'm your father, Evil Knievel. She's from the same place, but the difference is her heart was in the middle at all times. So see what I'm saying? There's all these places. So we're not from the same place exactly. We're from a closer place. Buffalo were extinct. Smog used to come down a few times a year, and you had to stay inside. You couldn't go outside and play. That was common. Every year, it was common. 7 to 15 times a year. And so we are, that's just I'm trying to explain to you that me and her are from a different place, even though we're from a place that's even closer together. So, on this place, people from here, it's always been Evil Knievel, not Evil Knievel. It's Evil. Ours is Evil Knievel. Yours is Evil. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, it's exciting, and I just wanted to keep it mellow tonight. I don't want to talk about redemption for Chileans, or I'm upset with them. I just wanted to keep it simple, because I don't know. I'm a Christian now, and I really wouldn't like to just rehash things. If I just really like to be left alone, and go to church and find my good Christian woman when it's time. Right now, I'm just getting closer to the Lord, and I'm a truther. I did a lot of research on government conspiracies, and it's very, very sad and very scary at the same time. And we have parallel shit with the Mandela effect. And a lot of people put us down. They go, "That's a wimpy one." I think it's cool. I mean, we moved from a different universe to this universe. I don't want to get too excited, because what if this place is bad? What if this place has some bad stuff in store for us? So let's not get too excited. Hopefully it doesn't. Keep your fingers crossed and keep your heart praying to God. Praise you, Jesus. Thanks for watching.